Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided it into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. Go find the 8 units Link to save her! Hello everyone, this is TalesFan109 and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, the original game. Here is my old file from the last time I played through this game. Both quests, only 7 deaths. Pretty impressive. We'll see if I can do better. Now then, I am doing this to fulfill my promise of non-horror videos over the weekends, and I will put a part up on Saturday and Sunday to make up for the abundance of horror that is coming my way. This gives me a perfect opportunity to play through games again whose videos I deleted due to the old Kappa scare. I deleted many of my old videos. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. A sword made of wood. Thank you. I'm sure you're very proud of what you have created. So I'm going to use this opportunity to go through some of my old playthroughs that I deleted due to the Kappa scare, because my old videos were pretty much unwatchable. This game was terrible. I really need to give that a makeup. I definitely have to, and I deleted a lot of those old videos because I didn't know what to do with them. They were terrible. I didn't feel like marking them as for kids as a result, and I was afraid of the consequences of incorrectly marking, because we all know what YouTube did. They made it sound a lot worse than it really is, because we weren't the ones at fault. Thank you for that, YouTube. I didn't want to delete the old videos. I could have privatized them, but I was in a panic. You don't think well during a panic. But here's the first dungeon already. At the very least, this game is very short, so I should do just fine. I will do both quests all the same though, because the second quest is practically a different game. It's much harder, for sure. There's actually a glitch you could do here. If you leave this dungeon right now before unlocking that door, it will be gone by the time you come back. I don't know why. I don't want to demonstrate it. I just want to do things normally. I'm not a speedrunner. I don't find speedrunning all that fun, honestly. But this first game is a bit different from other Zelda games. One thing is, it's a very open-ended Zelda game. You could do this game in virtually any order you wish, with the main exception that you can't enter the final dungeon until you complete all the others. This wouldn't really be revisited that much again until Breath of the Wild, which, heck, that's even more open in a sense. Okay, well, instead of making the end the only part of the game you have to do at a certain point, you have to do the beginning in a specific way. So they just kind of twisted it about. But this game did it first. And this game was also a bit of an interesting game at its time, because, well, the action-adventure genre didn't really have much going for it yet. There was adventure on the Atari 2600, a few computer games that really weren't RPGs, but had the actionized setup that, well, actually feels more like East than Zelda in the fact that it's bump combat. Highlight could also be viewed as like a spiritual predecessor of sorts. Highlight was a very popular game in Japan when it came out. In America, it was oh, hang on. Pay close attention, because this game does have puzzles. Did you pay attention? I know it's very difficult, you 1987 audiences. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. In 1987, We weren't used to doing this in console games. We just had to get to the end of the level. Now you want me to figure out things? Blasphemous! Okay, mainly it's not very hard, but I'm pretty sure unless the manual told you, you wouldn't have thought to do that back in the day. I can imagine. Anyways, here's a map. It's the Eagle. I have to do a lot of speed talking in this game, because quite frankly, things get done very quickly in this game. You just go from one point to the next. And I've played the Zelda randomizer so many times that I'm pretty comfortable with the way this game works by now. But there is one important rule. You want to stay at full health, you want those sword beams. Because then you can deal with enemies like that. And you don't want to be near Gorias because they throw boomerangs, and those boomerangs really can catch you off guard. Anyways, look, it's a puzzle. How do we get to the stairs? Right! And let's get our dungeon item, the bow. It sounds cool, but it's kind of useless right now, because this is the one Zelda game where getting a bow doesn't actually mean you can use it. Actually, Breath of the Wild kind of borrowed this too, but it was different. In that game, you actually had to find spare arrows lying about for the most part. In this game, it's a little different. We'll cross that threshold when we get there. I don't know why they thought up of that. Would have really been so hard to add an extra variable to carry arrows. Come on, I think you could have stored a little bit. For heaven's sakes, the reason we have a second quest is because they only used up half of the storage, so they had to just use it all up. They made a second quest. Anyways, we're going to kill these guys to get another dungeon item, and yes, some dungeons in this game can have 2 main items. And, well, this item is one of my favorites in the game. It's the boomerang. And the boomerang in this game is overpowered. It can stun just about anything, making almost every single fight in the game trivial. Anyways, we're gonna fight a boss. His name is Aquamantis. I'm a dragon that breathes fire. Ouch. Oh. So, all you gotta do is hit his head area and dodge his fireballs as they come. If you have full health, it's really easy. If not, you gotta get up close, but there are other options. You could use bombs if you find any, or you could use arrows if you actually take the time to get the arrows before getting to this dungeon. You see, the arrows are not actually found in the dungeons, but in random stores in the overworld. Anyways, that is the first dungeon done and over with, and I actually did do everything in the dungeon. Most of these dungeons are not that long, especially in the first quest. Anyways, the manual actually tells you how to get to that dungeon. Probably because they knew most console gamers were not going to be used to a game of this magnitude yet. But I'm not going to the second dungeon yet, which the manual hints is in the Eastern Forest, and that's about it. Instead, I want to get stronger, so we are going to do something called grinding. And we're also going to do exploration. We're going to collect some extra heart containers. There are 5 secret heart containers scattered throughout the overworld, and getting them is very beneficial, because in order to get better swords in this game, you need to have a certain amount of max heart containers to be able to use them. Right now we're going to go up here, because there's actually something very nice up here. It is called a letter. Show this to the old woman. This is how you get potions in the game. Now, the last time I actually played through this, I didn't use a single potion in the first quest. I didn't die, didn't use a single potion. The first quest gets pretty easy once you start actually getting decent at the second quest. Sometimes I actually think one of the harder parts of this game is the first part, just because it can be so easy to run into enemies. They take a few hits, and you can just lose your health very fast. This is a rupee secret. 100 rupees. This is one of the best screens in the entire first quest, and it's hidden. I think that's what the Eastmost Peninsula clue was referring to. Now, in this game, they're called Labyrinths. And they work that way because they're not really puzzle-based. This isn't really the Zelda game where the puzzles began. Instead, yeah, they're more like mazes for the most part. The only real things you gotta worry about is kill all the enemies, maybe an item will drop. if that doesn't happen, maybe you gotta push a block and it'll open a door or reveal a staircase. For the most part, that's it. Now I'm gonna buy this candle, because this allows us to kill nature. And killing nature can give us hearts. This game has horrible morals. It really does. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Kill trees, they give you life. Hey, wait a minute, I don't have bombs yet! How is it that I have not gotten a single bomb pickup? Darn, I can't even get the heart container hidden in that screen because I don't have bombs. I hope one of these blue Octoroks will drop bombs. Because it so happens that blue enemies do have a greater chance of actually presenting you bombs. I guess I'm just gonna have to buy some. Well, darn. This isn't going as I hoped. Oh, never mind! Alright, bombs! Now we can blow up stuff! It's 20 rupees to get bombs, and I really don't want to do that, because there's a lot of stuff I want to buy, and generally, I think it's wise to buy everything early on in the game. If you know where the rupee secrets are, you can do that pretty easily. And yes, when getting heart containers, you can usually decide between a red potion and a heart container. You're a fool if you go for the potion, because you will eventually be able to get potions elsewhere, but heart containers are a one-and-done deal. So please, for my sake, get the heart containers. Anyways, we're in a good spot right now, because we can actually get the next sword upgrade already. By doing all this, we can get powered up very easily, and pretty much breeze through the next set of dungeons, actually. There's another secret here. Let me just use the boomerang, because it is awesome. I love the boomerang. Anyways, your best friends in the overworld is the boomerang, the bombs, and the candle. The boomerang, because, well, it lets you kill enemies easily like that. The bombs, because there are many secrets that can be revealed with bombs. And the candle, because you can burn trees, kill nature. We're not killing nature over here, though. We're actually going in here. No, we're not. That is not anything I need. Okay, let's think of what I actually want to buy next. Arrows? A shield? What? Alright, I probably shouldn't even be going this way, honestly. This is a waste of my time. Except I got more bombs, so you know what? I'm cool with this. But I should be able to get some arrows in here, and you know what? I think I will just get that done and over with. Gimme. Thank you. There's still quite a few items left to buy, but we're in a pretty good spot. And yep, here is one of the 5 overworld heart containers. We can't get that yet. It's just a tease, and I don't even know why there's a dock over here. Alright, there we go. We're doing pretty well. Yeah. Let's get more things. First off, I want to replace this sword, because it is so weak. It is made out of wood, after all. And even though wood can hurt, it's not gonna do much compared to a legitimate blade. Alright, what's in here? I gotta be careful, because in a recent playthrough, I did learn door repair secrets. They actually do exist in this quest, which really surprised me. I never would have guessed. Because I played this so many times, this first quest, and I've never seen those. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, door repair charges is when a guy gets mad at you for busting down a door, and then forces you to spend 20 rupees. Anyways, here's the potions. Buy medicine before you go. I definitely don't need a potion this early in the game, and I might not even need it at all. For now, I'm going to conserve my money to save it for more important things. For instance, there's a secret shop I can find that will allow me to get a nice, cheap shield. But let's go get the sword right now. It's actually right this way. This is called the Lost Tales. It's a puzzle we'll deal with later because it leads to a dungeon. Alright, let's get a sword. This screen can scare you from getting the sword because it's guarded by one of the strongest enemies in the overworld, the blue Linel. You cannot block those sword beams with just a regular shield. They take a lot of hits, And if you get hurt by the sword blast, that's 2 hearts of damage. Master using it, and you can have this. Yay! See, I'm good. You need 5 hearts before you can pick this up. At least 5 hearts. If you go over, that's fine. You'll still be able to get it. And there we go. Now we can actually kill things with some relative ease. How wonderful. But there's still more to do. We're not going to the second dungeon yet. There's still 2 other heart containers to find, and by golly, I want to get a good shield. Because this shield can only block simple things like rocks from Octoroks and arrows and boomerangs. It can't block these fireballs, and that's going to become a problem later on in the game, so let's just get this stuff done and dealt with. A lot of the grinding you want to do early on, and then after that you're basically just picking off the dungeons one by one. It's not too much to do in this game, specifically compared to virtually all the other installments. But hey, this is for 1986, this was a massive console game, and it did come out before Dragon Quest, which would solidify that RPGs can in fact be done on console. Legitimate RPGs. Hi. 30. Cool! Alright, my health is actually getting kinda low. I'm being quite careless. Let me fix that. I'm gonna get a heart container. Give me your heart container. We're really... Imagine if this was actually his heart and by taking it, you drain all of his life force and he dies. That would be disturbing. Maybe it works that way in the Japanese version, but there's no way the American Nintendo would have allowed that. I don't even know how they didn't even change the cross. Anyways, this is a hidden shop, and this might actually be Link saying this. Boy, this is really expensive. I don't know why the shopkeeper would say that, because it would keep you from actually buying things if the shopkeeper was saying it, now that I think about it. Anyways, look at this. New shield. And there's also a secret here. There's a lot of secrets in this game. For the most part, it tends to look like there's one secret per screen. Not always the case, but it can seem that way. Alright, this is great. Let's get in our heart container, and there's only 2 more items I really gotta buy. One is called the blue ring, which doubles your defense. Amazing, but not needed at this stage in the game. The other is food, which we don't actually need for a long time. For the most part, it can distract certain enemies, but it's got another major purpose later on in the game. Much later, though, so we're okay for now. Oh, thank you. The wheels on the bus go round and round. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. I don't know why I'm doing that. I think I'm just going crazy from Tektites. They actually are a bit of a pain to kill. Ooh! Gimme! Won't be a pain anymore. But, oh, okay, 1 rupee. Okay, this is the last heart container we can get right now. Other items will actually be needed to gather anything else. The last heart container I can get is within this wall. Cool. There we go. See how much stronger we are already? And we haven't even been playing the game for 20 minutes here. So much to say that it gets hard to think of things to say sometimes because I'm just rushing through everything. Sometimes just playing this game feels like a rush for me, honestly. Oh. The bad thing about the blue candle is we can only use it once on a screen. To reset it, we have to leave the screen. So if you want to actually find secrets with this, it takes a while. There's an upgrade, but you don't get it until infinitely later in the game, which is a pain. Alright. Let's head to the second dungeon now, actually. We're in good shape. So here's the Eastern Forest. I'm going to show you where the second dungeon is. Up here, and to the left. I hope you're drawing maps. I actually never draw maps for this game. I don't need them. Generally, I don't need them unless I'm playing a first-person RPG. Then I need it. And here we go, second dungeon. Hurrah, hurrah! We're going to be going through this dungeon in the next video. It's a moon. Spoilers. Until then, though, this has been TalesFan109, and have a nice day.